According to the most recent statistics, 1 in 5 college women will be the victim of rape or attempted rape, and only 12% of those women report it. And the men found responsible for such attacks, only 10 to 25% are ever permanently expelled.
Georgetown's pretty consistent in terms of what's true in other campuses. Most survivors don't report, and a really important part of that is that I don't push them in one direction or another. So if they say I'm not interested in reporting, I say okay. Well, I think Title IX gives students another avenue. So I think that's the main way we're seeing it play out now. Sometimes it can be harder to think about going to the police right away, but then in going through a Title IX process, they can get information here, but they can go, that's more of an official route to say, here are some reporting options and the way the university can respond to you. In terms of a student can access a protection order without actually going to going through the criminal court system. That's a civil measure. So if they get a protection order, then that would likely be something that they would come back and file here, and then there would be an awareness in terms of their classes and access and their building and enforcement of that.
I'm sure this is happening. If it's happening there, I'm sure it's happening at other schools. How they treat victims, how the whole judicial process, how that even, it's not even a real process. They have no training. It shows the complete lack of regard for victims' rights. You know, caring about their student body. Not every woman is going to report it. When somebody does finally report it, if this is the way they treat it, it's just going to become a much bigger problem.
Well, I think one of the main things that it's important to talk about or think about is that it is a community issue, and I think many times, again, not unique to Georgetown, but this is a topic that gets labeled as women and gender studies or women's issues or something that really women are mainly and mostly thinking about. And we're all working really hard to have conversations that don't make it feel like it's just a women's issue, because A, it's not just the responsibility of women to address this. Men are survivors. We have men on our campus who either come here as survivors or are assaulted while they're students here. And that can be very isolating to somebody who's already experienced a crime. That's extremely isolating.
He went to school in a daze. He wanted to tell someone. He went to a guidance counselor.
I proceeded to tell her what happened, and halfway through the story, she made me stop and then go to Mr. Whitlow, where Officer Spaulding was in his office already waiting.
He says he had to recount his rape to the assistant principal, Josh Whitlow, and the school resource officer. Then the principal came in and asked to hear the story for herself.
Then I was forced to tell the story again. Well, then they said my mom was there and I was stopped for a third time.
All told, James says he had to relive the rape at least 4 times for different school officials.
What they did was emotionally rape my son.
Ultimately, we want Georgetown to be a survivor-centered campus. We want survivors to feel that they can choose to do any or all of those things and not be blamed, and not have it be something that other people make them feel like it's their fault, or have it be more traumatizing for them.